Yeah.
Okay, thank you.
What do you mean by again?
Okay.
The beginning
So
of
we're starting by showing this
Yeah.
part.
Okay.
And
Till
then
they
you can-
finish, we will
Okay.
finish. Fatma, please remove it. Fatma. Yeah. Yeah. This is Taylor Swift, Elvis Presley, Kristen Stewart. Yeah, they're playing guitar. And there are more people who play guitar, teach playing guitar, and learn how to play guitar every single day. Move it to? Okay, so let's start reading and learning more about guitar. It's very fun and very easy. Easy quiz for you about guitar, as you see ladies here. Okay, finally another nice video about guitar. Enjoy it, and thanks a lot for listening for us for our presentation.
Before we go to this, please go back to the parts of the guitar.
Yeah.
Draw a comparison. We'll see which team is the winner.
Yeah, you will judge them. You will choose.
Okay, go back here.
Yeah.
Okay. Which part?
Yeah, I can help you.
Okay. For the anatomy of the guitar. Let's go to the anatomy of the guitar. This one, bravo.
This one?
Okay.
Yeah.
So
Ismail, please be there with them.
yeah, let's jump to this. Okay.
Okay.
Okay, and this is their drawing. Where do you go?
What's wrong? I'm sorry. Yeah. Okay.
Where is your video?
It's. I want to open it.
Okay, just.
Yeah.
Are you done?
Right. So which one you're going to choose, Miss Marine? Which one? Which one is better? Okay. What is it? Choose. Rama, you'll be rewarding. Rama, this one. هذا لمس مارين وهذا للبنرز.
هيدا المس؟
Yeah, yeah, البنات. Where's it? Take your time. Yeah, I'm sorry. It's
Thank you both. Both teams were amazing. Okay. Both were amazing. Thank you. Let's finalize with this.
I'm afraid. Yeah, of course. Let's firstly make this one.
No.
Come on, why it's not working? This one for you. It's not the presentation. It's song tunes about guitar.
Okay. Thank you.
I'm sorry. Give me just 1 minute
Okay.
to make it. Okay, ladies, look here. Finally, we have something funny for you. Let's see, who's the winners? Who's the winners, ladies? You'll be rewarded too.
Hi, girls.
Okay, look here.
August.
They're so cute.
Is that right?
Yeah.
August 6, 2012. Daddy's gonna play them a little song while you're eating your peas.
You guys ready?
Hope you
Very
enjoy it.
expressive, very expressive. Thank you.
I'm sorry, Rama, you wanted to say something about guitar?
Okay.
I just want to close everything. Close everything, sorry. Yeah, Rama, talk to.
Keep it.
Yeah, okay. Okay, hope you have fun. They're so cute, right? Yeah. So, ladies, you think guitar is so fun, right? Yes. You're going to learn? You're going to buy? You're going to do anything? Yeah. Listen to this one. Well, really, you will love it. I have another one for Gina and for Oh, just oh, they have a version of it? I didn't know that.
Okay. So let's continue. Okay, let's continue. Thank you. Okay, thank you, ladies. Now let's continue for the comprehension question. Okay, thank you. So now, after reading this art, or after having this wonderful presentation about our article today, the anatomy of guitar, would you please now go through the reading text quickly by reading the introduction, the topic sentence of each body paragraph, and the conclusion. And then I want you to think about some sentences for true or false sentences. Page 59. Now skim the text. Would you please skim the text quickly? Skim the text quickly, taking notes about the main idea of each body paragraph. That would help you to decide whether the following statements are true or false. Okay? Skim the text and take notes about the main idea of each point. Have you finished? Okay. So Yasmin and her team and Rama and Fatma presented a wonderful presentation about anatomy of guitar and different types of guitars. We have electric guitars and acoustic guitar as well. And they talked about how the guitar or those who make the guitar, tried to improve the structure of the guitar to make it louder and produce loud sounds by adding metals, by using technology, adding electric wires. And at the beginning, the first attempt was adding a microphone, but when this didn't work well, they resorted to adding or devising the electric guitar itself. So now the reading comprehension on page 59. Here it says, mark each statement as A if it's referring to the acoustic guitar, and E if it refers to solid body electric guitar. Okay, so what's meant first? What's meant by, yeah, or B, yeah, but what's meant first by acoustic guitar? Wood. Okay, it's made of, and it has no amplifier, exactly. So acoustic guitars, they are mainly made of wood, and they don't have any amplifier. But electric guitar, they usually solid body, metal body, and they have amplifiers. Or B, if you find this feature is related to both of them. Okay? So who's going to read the first one and tell us, is it A or E or both? Yes, Rama? Just a minute.
The shape of the guitar has only a marginal effect on the sound. A? Referring. Acoustic guitar.
Marginal effect. The shape of the guitar in this case has marginal effect on the sound. So it's electric.
Oh, okay.
So it's E. The first one is E.
Okay. String thickness and tightness determine the pitch of the note. I think it's both.
Both. Excellent. So actually, this is both of them.
The guitar cannot be used in live performance with a large audience without electronic help.
Both. Excellent.
Thinner material in the guitar body improves the volume of the instruments. Both.
Actually,
Thinner material in the guitar body improves the volume of the instrument.
do you think?
A?
A. Okay, we need to make the body thinner in order to use louder and much amplified sound without using an electronic amplifier.
Capturing the sound electrically requires a device that senses vibrating or vibrating materials inside the guitar. E.
Again, would you please?
A.
Okay, why? Because we're talking about
They're talking about acoustic guitar and about how to vibrate the air and
exactly.
produce loudly sound.
Exactly. How to use the air as an amplifier itself without using electric amplifier. Okay, the follow.
Number 6, the guitar cannot be played through a microphone. I think that's A. Actually, they both can be played by a microphone.
But maybe, which one is
A.
E? It's E. It's
No, electric guitar can be played.
can't be played.
Oh,
by-
yeah.
Yeah, can't. Cannot. Okay.
You're right.
So it's E. Number 7.
This guitar works on the principle that a vibrating string creates a disturbance. I didn't finish reading it. Thank you.
Maybe.
For an acoustic guitar. I think it's A, the acoustic guitar.
And which one is right? Actually, they are
Both
both
then?
of them. Yeah, both of them. The last one. Who can help me with the last one? Yeah, probably.
The bridge and saddle transmit vibration to the guitar body, which amplifies the sound.
Both. Excellent. Okay. So now we come to this part. Oh, sorry. Okay. So to check your answers first, okay, these are the suggested answers. Now we go to page 60 where we're going to talk about the technical process of, number 8A. And actually it can be both, okay? But here it can be resolved as A. Okay, so we're talking about technical process or design can be described from several points of view. For example, Okay, if we're going to talk about guitar, can you see this is what? Like a flow chart to help you, to guide you to understand that we have guitars and this, or a guitar, and this guitar has a cable. This cable acts as amplifier, and these amplifier actually have speakers cables in order to make that sound louder. Exactly. So this is a technical description, or how to use this diagram in order to give technical description. So what about if I ask you to give me a technical description in words, okay? Like the first example here, okay? The first example says, how do I set it up? How to set up a guitar, okay? So I want you to read and tell me exactly about the task, okay? For example, the opposite task says, this version gives instruction to the reader. Underline the verbs that tells you or tells the reader what to do. Here, on page 60, how do we set it up? How to, this means that you're about to read a process. Okay, so when you describe a process to your reader, you need to use action verbs. So I want you to underline these action verbs that tells you, the reader, a process. Okay, like? Insert, excellent. Run, insert twice, and run. Okay, so this is the technical aspect in anything. Like, describing a guitar or the anatomy of a guitar, it's a technical aspect. Also, in even giving a process or describing how a thing can work, this is technical description or technical process. And in describing this technical process, we need to use action verbs, and it can be in imperative form like this. Insert, run, add, cut, delete, all of these. Okay? Now, task 2. How is it set up or designed? Now we need to see how it's designed. So this version describes the setup without indicating who set it up. Underline any intransitive verbs. Remember we talked about a session ago about passive voice and transitive verbs that take an object or sometimes two, and intransitive verbs that don't take an object. Remember? Okay, we talked about this before. Like, I gave you. Okay, I gave you assignment or an assignment. So, yeah, I gave you an assignment. Okay, I gave what? An assignment. An assignment, this is the direct object. But I gave it to whom? To you. So this is indirect object. So, gave. Okay, one of the verbs that are transitive. They actually take two objects, not only one object. One direct, one indirect. But sometimes we have intransitive verbs that can't take an object. Okay? Like, for example, sorry? Run, exactly. Like in this sentence, sorry? Like in this, run, exactly. Like this, run, okay? I like running. I run every morning, okay? This is, I run, for example, I run in the early morning. In the early morning, this is not the object of I run, okay? So in here, or in this example, run is the intransitive verb. Now task 3, how does it work? This version tells what each device does exactly. The verbs are active, okay? Like plugs, sends, increases. So now I want you to underline the perpetrators, the subject, the agent, the original subject, the original doer, the original performer. We studied this, in the last session as well. When we talked about the agent, the perpetrator, and we transferred the sentence into passive voice. So here, guitarist, exactly, the guitarist, okay, and amplifier. These are two performers in this sentence, in this part of the description. Who does this? Who plays the guitar? The guitarist. And what makes the sound louder? Amplifier. So these are the actual perpetrators, the actual doer and performers in this description. Task number 4. What happens to the signal? Again, you're going to read this and you're going to see this version tells what happens to the sound signal. The passive verbs make the paragraph seem technical or scientific. So now, again, we stress the value of using passive voice rather than active voice. Because in academic writing, we use, or it's preferable to say, it's recommended rather than to say, I recommend. Okay? So, because it gives the writing this formal tone, this formal tone. So here I want you to underline the passive verbs. It is transmitted, is plugged, and is delivered, is converted. Excellent. Okay? So this is the point of giving technical description. If you're going to write about a process, if you're going to give technical description to a certain thing, like our topic today, giving technical description about the anatomy, like your marvelous drawings, okay? So this technical description, how you're going to write about this, how you're going to describe this in words, you're going to use passive form, okay? You're going to use action verbs, sometimes in imperative form, and you're going to use transitive verbs. You're going to use some transitive verbs and transitive and intransitive. Transitive in the form of imperative form, and intransitive form in the active voice as well. And you're going to use what we have discussed now. And you're going, action, active, and passive, and you're going to use, you're going to stress on the perpetrator. The doer, excellent. And you're going to concentrate on the performer, perpetrator, or the doer. Because you need to tell the reader who usually does this, okay? He does, or the guitarist, for example, or the amplifier does these features. Now, let's go to vocabulary, okay? These some suggested answers. Let's go to the vocabulary. Here, from this passage, we have experienced some of these words in the noun, verb, adjective, and adverb form, like intrinsic. We said intrinsic, it's related to, inner, authentic thing, okay? So intrinsic means authentic, and usually it's unique. It's related to yourself, like original, intrinsic, we said last time, intrinsic motivation, your original inner motivation, how to motivate yourself. And we talked about manipulation, manipulate. Manipulation means and deal. Changing and dealing and changing and dealing and manipulate. Sorry? Sometimes, yeah, sometimes. But in general, how to deal. In general, how to deal. How to sometimes maneuver your way around it. Okay? And we talked about project, projection, projected, refinement. Remember, to purify. Okay? Stress, in general, we all know what stress means. Theory and theorize and all of these. So take a minute, try to complete the following sentences. Page 61. Activity number 8, page 61. Done? So start.
Okay. Although it is theoretically possible for a guitar to be made of a single wood, most guitars use a variety of woods.
Okay, so by theory, it's true, but we use a lot of
Wood is a popular material for guitars because it can be refined in many ways, including shaping, bowing, and slicing.
can be
Refined.
or
Manipulated.
or manipulated. Okay. Adjusted. Here, manipulated means adjusted.
We don't have manipulated here. Manipulate, manipulative. So I think refined is correct.
No, we have manipulate as a verb, but this is the passive form. That's why we put it in the past participle.
Okay then. Okay.
Okay. And refine is wrong.
Woods are selected for their ability to impact sound, their beauty when finished, and their ability to stand the stress of day-to-day playing.
Withstand the stress means
The stress? Like,
no.
withstand, to put up with, to tolerate, yes.
To put up with or tolerate the stress, the pressure.
Several approaches are available for projecting sound in large spaces.
Projecting sound, meaning displaying. Projecting here meaning displaying. It means displaying.
The technology for amplifying acoustic guitars is still being
Refined, yeah, you can say refined. Is being refined, and again, it's passive form. So this is the point of giving technical description.
Can you say manipulated?
Again, if you say manipulated in the first time, you can say manipulated here, but it's preferable to say manipulate as adjustment and refine to purify and make it better. Okay, so it's better to say the first one refine and then the last one refine. Then I want you to generate sentences. I want you to see these words, activity number B. Okay, yeah, this is the answer key. Okay, now in activity number B, I want you to compose sentences. For example, okay, here it says, constant stress need better quality control. So you can write a full sentence like this. The constant stress, the need for better quality control. Okay, the constant stress of people, of course. This is when you have it a lot and a lot of stress, you need to have a sort of quality control over yourself. Okay, did you check all the answers? Okay, or you still need anything? Okay, so Rama, would you please?
The second one, teacher stress, read chapter 5 very carefully. The sentence is, the teacher is stressed on reading chapter 5 very carefully.
Exactly, good one. Another one for this sentence. Another one.
5. I have number 5.
You have number 5?
Yeah.
Okay, let's wait. Okay, same one?
The same.
Same sentence? Okay. Number 2?
Well, assigning too many tasks at once is stressful. Assigning too many tasks at once can be stressful.
Bravo. Assigning 2 tasks at once or requiring them at once can be so stressful. Number 4, yes.
We must put greater stress on opening new markets for our products.
Again?
We must put greater stress on opening new markets for our products.
On opening new markets for our products. Good one. Number 5.
Yeah, psychologists wait, stressful testing. Psychologists.
And psychologists or psychologists. Okay.
Stressful.
Psychologists.
Now I don't have it anymore.
Okay, no problem.
Psychologists stress that multitasking are not a reliable strategy for saving time. It's not a reliable strategy for saving time.
Good one. Okay, the last one. Yes, please.
One would feel stressed to work and go to school at the same time.
Sorry.
One would feel stressed and to work and go to school at the same time.
One would feel stressed to work
And go to school at the same time.
at the same time. Bravo. Okay, you got it. Now let's move to the following exercise, page 62. Okay? I want you to discuss these questions and give me, in groups, and give me some answers. What are some good ways to relieve stress when a busy schedule leaves little time for you to rest and to have a recreation? And again, what skills or courses should high school stress the most before you join college in general? Discuss these questions, at least in groups, in groups discuss these questions and give me a small paragraph, a short paragraph. I just want now short paragraph about an answer for these two questions. In groups, in groups. Short paragraph. Just write 3-4 sentences at most. Yes. All of you discuss it and come up with one answer, one short paragraph. Again, what are some good ways to relieve stress? Okay, relieve stress physically, emotionally, psychologically, and what skills or courses should high school students stress on the most before joining college? Okay, Fatma. One short paragraph, right? Only one short paragraph as an answer for these. Yes? Excuse me. Either to join them or join these two couples. Okay, it's okay. Just write one short paragraph to answer these two questions. Now, both of them, okay? How to relate both questions to each other, okay? Maybe if students were prepared enough at high school, they wouldn't have this stress situation in college. Try to find connection between the two questions, okay? Write small paragraph or short paragraph, sorry, connecting the two questions. Okay, maybe you think that students should be prepared for getting into the college or before joining college. They should be prepared with specific courses to reduce the stress of college work later on. Maybe. It's up to you. That's why I wanted to design a short paragraph that suits both questions. What are the skills and courses that should be stressed or offered? Okay, maybe new one. You are going to propose a new course to offer. Or an actual course that you want to stress on, you want to intensify, okay? Done? Done? Okay. Done? Okay. Okay, ladies, let's listen to the first group. The first short answers, short paragraphs trying to merge the two ideas together.
Okay. What are some good ways to relieve stress when a busy schedule leaves little time for rest and recreation? One way to relieve stress is running, dancing, and exercising. Another way to relieve stress is the spa and yoga, depending on our interests, time ability, and our own mental and physical capabilities.
So, high school should stress on sport, physical sports activities. Okay, so.
I didn't know we had to merge.
Okay, that's fine. Okay, so no problem, just say. Yeah, so
High schools should focus on putting more physical activities into students of all different stages. For example, swimming or acrobats, football.
Day for the weekend. That helps. Yeah, that helps stress.
Sports day.
Yeah.
Yeah, sports day. Yeah, this is the point. This is a good one. Okay. Huh? Have you finished? Okay. So another group, would you please listen to him? Ladies, listen.
Yeah, I think high school should focus and give students more time for relaxing, as they as they said, physical exercise may help them to be less stressed. But they should focus on relaxing, put for them places to relax, and I think they should do yoga.
It's not. Okay. Just write this, because I'm going to take these papers, okay? Now, I'm going to take these papers, sorry.
Okay. It is.
Ladies, Gina, listen. Okay. Girls, listen.
Yeah. It is recommended that to have a study plan before a study at the schools. In addition, students.
Just a minute. I can't hear her. Ladies, I can't hear her. Please. I'll collect the papers at the end. Okay? One more.
It is recommended that to have a study plan before study at the schools. In addition, students should manage their time to study during their own semester. If a school asserts on some courses which their students are not strong enough on it, they would be more successful students, and also.
Successful students.
Yeah, and also teachers should spend more time to boost a student confidence by encouraging them to be a successful person in their future life and career.
Okay, good one. Thank you.
We discussed. She will write down now. Okay. What are some good blah 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 ways to blah blah blah? Okay. We have, from my opinion, there's something called GK. It's a subject we take in high school. I think this is like something people, like every single student should have. And then in university you have to take GR so you can know how to improve your skills as a student. But a GK is as you as a human being who's going to just start a life and start learning. You have to at least know the basics of everything, which will help you in the future when you have a work, and when you work and study in the same time, it doesn't like stress you out so much because you know how things go. For example, if you study in GK, like when are you going to have vacations, you'll not be so stressed because you know there'll be a vacation anytime soon. So you'll be like doing your best in it. And you'll know what to and what not to spend your effort on, because according to GK, you know some basics of physics, basics of math, basics of IT, basics of everything. It's called general knowledge. So I think GK is a much important thing, and physical depends on what kind of person you're dealing with. I mean, it's kind of correct. I mean, yoga and stuff. But if you're talking to someone who has like a colon or is like he has a anger management issue, that's not gonna work with him or her. So it's basically does depend on who you're dealing with and what kind of character you're dealing with.
That's a good one. So you're stressing on time management, stress management, and GK. Okay. Thank you. What about you?
When you have a busy schedule and you cannot find any time for relaxation, there are all other ways you can remove stress by listening to relaxing music, or drinking some tea with herbals helps, or taking a cold shower will make you fresh. Finally, the courses should be stressed in the high school as time managing in order to always be prepared. Won't have a lot of to manage your time and to be prepared.
All the time. Thank you. Huh? You're with them? Other groups? Yes. You? Okay, you answered.
There are some ways to relieve stress. One of them is like doing yoga and exercise, of course, and taking a shower after if you feel stressed. And I heard that blue light can relieve stress, so it's very benefit. Like when you're sleeping, to turn on the blue light. It's really good. And
That's it? So, what about high school? High school should stress what type of course or...
yeah, they should give a courses to how.
I didn't understand the question actually.
Okay. Thank you. Nice try. Okay. Thank you. So let's move to the other exercise here. Next exercise, page 62, activity number D. I want you to match. Ladies, we have a project now about the word project, and we have another activity about the word manipulate. So I want you to read these words like stress. The verb project and manipulate can have physical and psychological senses. Okay? So match the meaning with the words in each sentence with its most appropriate definition. Seeing that the word project can have actually physical and psychological sense, and manipulate as well. So take a minute. Take care. You finished? Excellent. Okay. Give them 1 minute. And do both, project and manipulate. And tell me, by this sentence, do they present psychological sense or psychological meaning or physical meaning? Now, yeah, exactly. So now, who's going to match and tell me this sentence gives us psychological or physical?
A, number 1, the company projected a 4% increase in sales. A, estimate future quantities, sizes, and amounts. It's a physical.
It's physical. Excellent. Thank you.
Number 2, the 3D image is projected onto screen with angled ridges. B, make an image or sound fill a space.
So it's
B.
And physical or psychological?
Physical.
Yeah.
The actor's voice projects, well, I think it's C, give an impression to other people.
The actor's voice projects.
Yeah.
Make it.
It's D, I think it's D.
It's B.
Yeah.
B
Okay.
again.
Make an image or sound fill a space.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So it's B again. Yeah.
She projects the image of constant leadership. Make an image or no, not this one. Give impression to other people. C.
Number C. So she projects. This is physical or psychological sense? Psychological. Bravo. You got it. Okay. Number 5.
He projected his own fears about succeeding in college onto his friends. Feelings, D. Assume that others have the same thoughts or feelings. Psychological.
Several stock market analysts projected record earning this year, estimated future quantity, size, or amount. A.
And here, projected records means psychological or physical?
No, physical.
Okay. So, manipulate. Huh? Let's check this answer and then go to manipulate. It's going to answer.
They all grew tired of their boss's manipulative behavior. Use or a C? Oh, D. Good at controlling people in a tricky way.
So here to manipulate means to control. Okay, and this is psychological or physical sense? Psychological. Okay. Huh?
She learned to manipulate the clumsy machine. I think operate.
Operate number 8, excellent. And this is physical or psychological?
Physical.
Physical. Right. You got it.
The computer can manipulate huge amounts of data. I'm not going to answer what she said.
Just tell me.
I wanted to say A. I wanted to say A actually, but fine.
So actually it's B. Okay.
Whatever.
So here, it can manipulate as a physical or psychological.
It's physical.
Yeah. Thank you.
The lawyer tried to manipulate the jury by playing on other emotions. Good at controlling people in a tricky way.
No. Use or control. Not good at. They are not good at controlling people.
Okay, use or control people in a tricky.
Tricky way.
Yeah.
Okay. So again, physical or psychological? Psychological.
The teachers said her student trying
To manipulate her. The same. So it's number?
Yeah, so it's number C.
And again, this is psychological or physical?
Psychological.
Psychological. Okay. Good at, not deceiving. Number C is by tricking, by deceiving you. But in generally, number D is good at it, not without deception. I'm doing the action in a good way, in a good manner. I can control the situation in a good manner, in the right manner, not without tricky, using tricks and Okay.
The manipulative child convinced his mother that buying him the toy would make her happy. D.
Bravo. This is good at
Controlling people in a tricky way.
Okay. So the last exercise, this is homework. Let's start unit 5 now. Okay? As I told you, this is to check your answers. This is to check your answers. And as I told you, unit 5 is about what we have already studied in unit 3 about gimmicks in movies, and what we have studied in unit 4 about the psychological effect of music on us. But actually, we're going to study them again, not according to their psychological effect on us. It's about the physical, tangible effect on us through 2 senses, hearing and smelling and sight. Smelling. So now we're going to talk about smell and hearing. Okay. Senses. Okay. So unit 5 talks about sensory perception, how to perceive senses around us. Okay. So, sorry? The videos that we have discussed, Okay, but not now. Let's finalize, first put this part and then... No, I need a new one, but not now, okay? The last 5 minutes I'm going to display. Yeah, you can go. Okay? So, now, let's look at these words. This unit actually revises some of the words and present new words related to these sense. So, we're going to read about how the mind perceives odors and musical notes. And then practice and categorize information using charts. How to categorize, classify information using tables and charts. First, let's start by these words. Which word would you find a little bit awkward, unfamiliar, all of these? Entity. Yeah. What's meant by entity? Exactly. Your existence. Exactly. Your existence. And, of course, it's related to your personality and who you are actually in general. Identity. To identify. What's meant by where is identity? We have identical. Yeah, we have identical. Okay? Exactly the same. Exactly the same. Like twins. Exactly. We have seen twins today in our movie. What else? What other words that seems unfamiliar? Parameter. Okay, what's parameter? Okay. What's meant by parameter? Huh? Not exactly a measurement, okay? It's about the horizon, something related to our horizon. The perimeter, okay. So, perimeter in general means the surrounding, and it has a measuring unit. Sometimes it has a measuring unit. We're going to study this. I'm not going to talk about the meaning exactly now. What else before we proceed? Concurrent, related to current. So, concurrently happening together means if we have two actions concurrently happening together at the same time. So, the first one is happening at the same time with the last one, yes?
Is concurrent simultaneously?
Simultaneously? Yeah, almost simultaneously, at the same time, concurrently, all of these. Okay, what else? That's it? Sure? Okay. So, let's move to the following page here. Okay, it's not working again. Does adding smell to movies and video games strike you as a useful improvement or not? And if yes, what technical challenges would adding smell likely involve? For example, we talked about using O-vision and odors as gimmicks in movies. Smell-o-vision. We're going to talk about smell-o-vision again now. Pie, okay. Yeah, chocolate factory. Smell-o-vision. And taste. And taste as well. Okay. Chocolate factory.
They try to add smell. Chocolate smell. We all
You buy chocolate like crazy from the vendor outside. You even to get candy and eat it.
Okay, so do you think adding this sort of smell or taste to a movie or a video game would be effective and improve the movie or the film or the video game for you?
Yes, of course.
Of course. What about technicalities of doing this? Okay, so what do you think?
Actually, on the movies, all senses are in the movie. Like, are interacting with the movie in a way, and how even if you don't smell it, your body makes you smell it, and your brain makes you smell it, you know what I mean? If you're watching like a TV show and you like it so much, and there are like a bunch of people having fun and eating, you will feel it. Because you're interacting with it. Even your body is, your brain is, even if you're not physically doing it, you can like, you just had dinner and you're watching a show and you got hungry again because you're watching them having like, you know, even it's like a slice of pizza, it makes you want it, you know what I mean? That's why commercials, like they have this shiny stuff on the food, or the special music, like the color effect they mentioned. Blue is to make you a little relaxed. Red is actually to make you hungry. I don't know if you're paying attention in restaurants. That's why they use red, to make you eat more. So
This is interesting. Huh?
But adding smells in the movies, I don't agree with, because although some people like it, but some people they don't. One smell is maybe is good for me, and for other people they have allergic for smoke.
So some people may be allergic, so they can't tolerate a specific smell of perfume, even if it's very expensive and nice perfume. So allergy should be considered.
Yes, and I had a bad effect, I think, on the mood. And I think, you know.
Exactly. It kills our senses. We need to improvise, we need to imagine, we need to improve our sense by ourselves, not by artificial means. Okay? So this is the first point. What about this second point, or the second warming up question? What other uses can you see for a machine that could produce odors, whether in business or at home, in the home? Okay? What other uses? Actually, we have. We use machines like air fresheners in at home bathrooms.
Oil diffusers with maybe lavender or vanilla smells to make, yeah.
They're not machines. I was going to say candles.
Okay, no, they devised a machine that automatically spread this odor. Okay, when it's with a sensor, when the odor is nearly vanished, they spray one more pulse in order to keep the balance of this nice smell. So this is a machine used in business. Where have you seen it? Most restaurants, offices, public bathrooms. Okay, one in your class, one in your office at work. Okay, salons, exactly, salons, all of these. So it's working, and people actually using or applying this. Why? Why do you think they are applying this? Why they are using this sort of machines? Why?
According to environment or whatever the place is, there's a lot of interaction, there's a lot of people, and it might be dusty, it might be smelly, especially in the hospitals where it's like kids running around in playgrounds and stuff. You really need it.
Exactly. And again, the psychological effect of this odor, it has what we call first impression. When you smell a certain odor in a certain place, whenever you smell it again, it reminds you with this place. Okay? Or when you smell someone with a specific perfume or wearing some specific type of perfume, whenever you smell others wearing the same perfume, you recognize or you remember this person and the first one you have, or you smell this perfume on him.
So many years. Happens to me a lot. Like, you know the smell of fresh cut grass? Whenever I smell that anywhere, my mind takes me back to when I was 4, and I have this clear, vivid image of me in a pool playing with my friends.
Perfect. This is excellent. This is the point.
I read an article about there is a supermarket in the USA that to sell their product they use a smell and sound. For example, when you go for dairy product, you can smell of village and sound of the cow and sheep, and they want to increase. Even here, once I went to Lulu hypermarket in Bahrain, and they used to sell fish. They put a boat and they draw some kind of waves of the sea, and when you went inside, you smell the sound of the wave of the sea.
Yeah. This is very interesting. Yeah.
Music now for looks like relaxation music, and instead of like guitar, piano, they're playing like beach music. They just record it from like Hawaii or something, and they just mix it with something electronic, and they just use it to make.
Yeah, I've listened to some of these as well. Okay. Huh? What you were about to say?
For me, whenever I smell jasmine, it reminds me of my grandma's house in Syria. She has a jasmine tree. Yeah. So yeah, whenever I smell it.
So we all agree that we can draw a connection between smell and a place. This is again related to our sense, okay? Related to our senses. Also, odors can often trigger powerful memories. That's why, or that's exactly what you did. For example, the smell of bread baking may remind someone of their childhood home. So what memories do you associate with certain odors? For example, for Rama, she said jasmine is connected to her grandmother's house, okay? Because her grandmother had a tree or jasmine tree, okay? Gina said that the odor of
freshly cut grass.
Yeah, exactly, is related to her...
Me, like a fond memory of me playing with my friends.
At 4, when she was 4 years old. Oh my God.
Yeah, I was 4, and it was like all of this. This was a really odd year in my life. And my mom had like a Toyota that was white. I still remember that car. And she was driving, and someone hit her behind her. I was sitting in the front seat, and I rolled over. Like, you know where your feet go? I was hiding in there. And I remember seeing police and my mom running everywhere looking for me. And then I was like, I'm here. And like, I cried so much that I had a vivid memory of an accident.
Exactly. Okay, so this is the point of our unit today. Yeah, good, interesting. Okay, when you smell?
Yeah, I smell it every day. Yeah, it reminds me about my childhood.
Okay.
Also the pastries. When you smell cake or pastries, you think about your mother's cake and so on.
You feel homesickness. Okay. So, in general, this article discusses why it's unlike sounds and it's so difficult to add smell to movies. Suppose you are sitting in a movie and you find these machines spreading smell like pipes, as we have studied in Unit 3, or cigars. All of these might be not welcomed by the audience. It varies again from one movie viewer and the other. So actually, movie makers have tried to add the smell dimension, okay? Like 3D. Remember, we talked about 3 dimensions. So they wanted to add another dimension, which is smell. So in 1959, a film called Behind the Great Wall piped odors through the air conditioning system of the theater. Remember, we've studied this before, and it's repeated again here. So the 1960s film, Scent of a Mystery, featuring smell of vision. Remember this gimmick? Smell of vision opened in a theater equipped to release 15 different smells in sync with the movie. And what happened? Do you think the viewers walked out? Exactly, and the viewers didn't like it. People walked out simply, and some suffered from allergy, and they complained, and the movie was not a success. Actually, it's a failure. Also, Walt Disney World Epcot theme park near Orlando, Florida, uses odor 20 to enhance its journey into imagination. This sort of attraction is so far related to the smell or vision type devices and are no more than gimmicks of only marginal interest. They just try to gain profits by adding this as if it's gonna improve. Some people like it, and again, some others don't like it. So, no affordable machine can store enough odors. Eventually, it's going to run out of smell. So no affordable machines can store enough odors to simulate more than a 25 small fraction of what humans can smell, okay? Because these are like fraction molecules. You know, these molecules interact together, and you smell it in a way that might be different from others. Okay, I might smell something in a very specific, severe, powerful manner, and you find that no, it's light or it's a soft smell, not this striking smell for me, for example. Okay, because I have allergy. This might be one of the causes. So sound and color simulation don't face such limitation. They don't need all these particles like 25 small fraction in order to be recognized by the mind. That's why computer monitors, for example, can recreate millions of colors, because originally there are only 3 colors to mix together in order to have a variety of the colors and degrees of different colors. So this is the point of having visual odors as an impossible reality nowadays. But we have color and sound dimensions. So if odor recorders and generators prove to be feasible and affordable, smell-o-vision may be primed for a comeback, adding a new dimension to the movie-going experience. And actually, it may even require a new film rating system. In this case, you're going to say, for example, it's rotten, beware. If you hate rotten smell, don't go to this movie. Okay? Or lovely. If you have lovely sweet smell, this can be rated as such. So actually, in general, the whole idea is not so practical. That's why up till now we can't find a 4th dimension about smell, for example. So now, by having this small hint about what we have already read about previously, I just want you to read the sentences and tell me, do you think they are true or false? Gina, would you please come and fix the movie? Okay. Just take a minute thinking about these sentences, and you can go back to the reading passage to check answers. This is scanning, to read the question first and go back to check the answers from the original text. Okay. I don't want this one, I want the other one about relevant to here. Okay. If you find it. Okay. Have you finished thinking about these sentences? Can we discuss them? Okay. Till you find, huh? Who's going to start? Please.
A machine that can synthesize most smells would already exist if there were a market for it. True. True.
A machine that can synthesize smell already exists, or it's a dream?
It would exist if there was a market for it. It doesn't exist.
Okay, so
it's true.
Okay. Would already exist if there were a market for it. Do you think it's true? Is it feasible? Is it feasible to invent this type of machine?
Halas false then.
This is the point, okay? Based on the passage, it says that it's not feasible to invent such a type of machine because we need at least 25 particles or molecules of smell or fractions. That's why it's impossible. It's not a matter of having a specific market for it to sell it or not. Actually, it's feasibly, the feasibility of doing this, it's not feasible.
At the present, the entertainment industry is using smell in limited ways through, like you said, Disneyland.
Exactly.
Yes.
Disneyland, a good example. So actually, it's true.
Virtually all colors that human can see can be synthesized. It's false.
Why?
Because it's...
We're talking about colors, not smell.
Yeah, but I think because I read that the sound waves and that, those are the ones that are...
Sound waves and colors can be synthesized.
Okay, so it's true then.
Yeah, in this case, it's true. Yeah, it's about colors and sounds and colors. Yeah, can be synthesized as well. Okay, number 4. Yes, Yasmin.
Odors like sound are created by energy waves coming from food and other substances. I think it's true.
Why?
Because they're, yeah.
Sound? Do you think?
No, not sound. No, not sound. I'm sorry.
They are false.
Yeah.
Because odors are not like sounds, so it's false. Okay, number 5. Huh?
A pleasurable smell will always remain no matter where it occurs. True.
What? Again, could you please read
A pleasurable smell will always remain no matter where it occurs. True. I think true.
Again, it's varies from one person into the other. So a pleasurable smell not will always remain so. Because eventually no machines can produce such amount. Eventually it's going to run out and to be refilled. So it can't last. Will always last. So it's false. The last one.
At this time,
Rudiger, who taught
electronic
himself-
noise technology has more obvious practical applications than a smell generator does. True.
Why do you think?
Because we're so, scientifically, we're upgraded, but like things that we have in our bodies, they're not.
Okay, thank you. So let's see this movie. Can you find it? Okay.
This is also a part of the superhumans we were talking about and how their senses. Remember last time we saw a video about the woman who can, where her senses are fused so she could see and taste like musical notes and what she heard. I think I also showed you the painter from Turkey, the one that was born blind. Okay, now this also has to do with like perception. Hold on. No, I know you saw this. Wait. Yeah, I know that you did. Yeah, okay. This is the human calculator. He combines all sensors.
Rudiger, who taught himself.
And he was like, and he wasn't born a genius. He was like a surprise savant, I guess what you can call. He just normally, like you and I, went to sleep one day and woke up a genius. Yeah, they still don't know what. Yeah, but they don't like. No pills, and that's the thing. But as a child, he talks about. I think this is like the. Let it just fast forward a little. As a child, he talks about being a little abnormal. He's from Germany, actually. He lives in a small town, but like he eventually moved to Germany, like civilization, and he teaches in a university. But as a child, people feared him. He actually, for quite a while in his life, he had the ability to talk backwards, so people were convinced that he was Satan. But he's actually really smart, and he's not number specific. His brain can create random algorithms to solve any mathematical problem in the world. And like, for examples, I'm really trying to find the video, but I'm hoping it's this.
Okay, so.
Oh yeah. Okay, this is the test. Here, they show you random. Like he calculates at such a high speed. It's not even. It's just.
Morning, Rudiger.
Good morning.
How are you?
Fine, thank you.
Rudiger, you're amazing at calculations now, but in high school you weren't very good at mathematics. Is it true that you actually taught yourself? You were no good at school?
I discovered my abilities exactly 2 weeks after I have left school.
And it all went from there.
Yes.
Next thing you know, you're a human calculator. I'm going to give you a 2-digit number.
Yes.
And you're going to tell me what the powers of that number are. So for people at home, when we do 2, the powers of 2 are 2 and 4, and 2 cubed is 8, 2 to the power of 4 is 16, etc. I'll give you a 2-digit number, and why don't you just keep telling me the powers until I've got a calculator here, and I'll see if I can keep up with you. So let's start with the number 83. 83.
Yes. 6,889, 571,787, 47,458,321.
Correct, Rudiger. Keep going, keep going.
2, 6,
And in Australia,
4.
Rudiger has reached 83 to the power of 9 without making a single mistake.
1, 5, 5, 1, 6, 0, 4, 1, 1, 8, 7, 2, 0, 5, 8, 5, 3, 4, 4, 9. 1, 2, 8, 7, 8, 3, 1, 4, 1, 8, 5, 3, 8, 0, 8, 5, 8, 3, 6, 2, 6, 7. 1, 0, 6, 8, 9, 0, 0, 0, 7, 7, 3, 8, 6, 6, 1, 1, 2, 4, 4, 1, 0, 1, 6, 1.
Rudiger, you're absolutely correct. I'll stop you there. Okay, that number we were getting up to was 10 billion trillions.
Yes.
I'm not even going to begin to try.
Yes, up from the 7th power, I don't know the names in English.
Oh, that's why you had to stop and read out the numbers.
Yes.
It's an amazing mathematical ability you have, and studying minds like yours teaches us all about the power of our own human minds. Thank you so much for sharing that with us this morning.
Okay.
Rudiger.
Thank you, Gina. So now we're going to learn about categorizing things. Categorizing things like, for example, fruits. Okay? What type of fruits do you prefer, for example? Okay, we can categorize as tropical fruits like pineapple, avocados, kiwi, okay? And we can classify fruits into other than tropical. Seasonal fruit. Okay, watermelon, melons in general, all of these. Okay, so again, it depends on the category itself, how you are going to categorize a thing. Okay, here it says, okay.
I'm very ashamed that I use a calculator.
After seeing him, yeah, I know. Okay. So now about categorizing. How you are going to categorize a thing and say that they are mutually exclusive. They are not overlapping together. Okay? For example, fruits. You might find that some types can overlap with others. Some that you might call seasonable, or according to seasons, they are tropical, or some of them are tropical. Some of them are from certain regions, regional types. So it depends on the category itself, how you are going to categorize. But others category, they don't overlap together. This is what we call mutually exclusive. Like this example, for example. Okay, here, guitars can be classified into acoustic and electric guitars. So each one has its own identity. What identities are being categorized? Guitars are being categorized into two, acoustic and electric. So what's the basis for this categorization? What's the basis? The degree of amplified sound, exactly. So the way the sound is amplified, this is the measure for classifying acoustic and electric guitar. And are the categories mutually exclusive, or they overlap together? They overlap together because we have just answered some of the question and we said these features can be applicable for both. Exactly. So what about the following category? Okay. There are two types, for example, non-offensive odors can be grouped into 7 general categories like medicinal, floral, chemical, fruity, vegetable, fishy, and earthy. Okay, can you see this list of categories? Okay, so do you think they overlap together or no? They don't overlap together because they are related to senses, okay, like smell and taste. So actually we don't overlap them together. Like here. Okay, this is the guitar. Number 3. Okay, we're talking about non-offensive odor. This is the main category we're categorizing here. And the type is related to the smell. So that's why, no. This category or these different types of categories, they don't overlap together. They don't mix together. You can discriminate them clearly away from each other. Okay? What about number 5? Let's go to number 5. I'm skipping parts because we're out of time. So now, number 5, we can label odors as pleasant and unpleasant. Do they overlap together? No, because again, they are related to the sense of smell. Okay? So whatever related to the sense, you can discriminate and you can sit away from each other and you say, yes, this is one category and this is another category, or this is one classification and this is another classification. But what is related to mental perception, okay, this can be overlapped together. So what's related to the senses usually can be categorized easily. So let's do exercise number B. Childhood and adulthood. Do you think they mutually exclusive categorization or these two categories might overlap together? How? Can you see a person and say, he's a child, and you see another person and say, yes, he's an adult? Can you see and recognize these two categories or not? So, do they overlap together? No. We can identify that, for example, after passing high school and going to college, for example, this is the start of the adulthood, not the childhood. So, they don't overlap together. They are mutually exclusive. What about middle age and old age? They overlap because sometimes you can't recognize. Suppose you see a person and say, he's in his 30s, and you would discover that he's in his late 40s, for example, not 30s. Okay? Okay, and this, I hope this too as well for me. Okay, so here you find that the discrimination or the criteria for categorizing and separating the two items totally not so clear. They might overlap together. What about this? A short film and a feature film. Do they overlap? No, they are mutually exclusive categorization or distinctive away from each other. What about luxury car and other cars? They overlap because what do you consider as a luxurious feature? You might find that, no, this is not a luxury car for me. I think it's ordinary, for example, because it differs from one person into the other, according to even his background experience with cars. Maybe this is the first car he sees, like a Toyota, for example. This is the first car he rides or he sees, and he's believing that it's the utmost and the most fantastic and marvelous car in the world. So again, these... Exactly. But you have to be able, or before seeing Lexus, you have to, or Rolls Royce, yeah, you have to see others, low manufacture, others types in order to judge. You can't judge that what's perfect unless you see what's normal in order to be able to draw the comparison. Sorry? Yeah, the price, okay, but if you when you gain experience, but at first sight, you might overlap between them.
No, but there's like, I know somebody that owns a Bentley coupe, and that's like 70,000, yeah, and he doesn't care, like he takes it to the desert, he treats it like anything else that he would drive.
Car, not a luxury car. Yeah. Yeah, exactly. So again, it depends, or the definition of what's luxurious and what's natural or ordinary, it differs from one person to the other. The last one, or let's go to this one. The poverty line in your own home country, is it separate or does it overlap together? It's overlapping. Again, it varies from one country to the other, okay, according to the national income and according to the economic financial status of this country, okay? So again, it's overlapping together. So this is the point of talking about categorization. Sometimes we can have clear, what we call mutually exclusive categories, and sometimes we have overlapping categories together. So would you please study the rest of this part and the exam till the end of the vocabulary item of this part. Thank you. Okay, if we got till the end of the vocabulary part of this one. Okay, the vocabulary part, and I'm going to upload the answer key for you on the LMS. No, till the end of the unit 5. Okay, you're going to read the article, and you will see that these ideas have already been delivered before. We've discussed them. Till the end of unit 5. Yeah, page 18. And next time we're going to start by these features.
Oh my God, it's so fast.
Lapland,
This is
200
called the human
kilometers from the
Iceland.
Arctic Circle.
He's from Russia.
No, I won't take it.
As a child,
Just see it and give me feedback. Okay, because I can't
Few
take
places can be as cold as March. It's January and temperature is minus 26 degrees.
Russia, it's called the White Death.
This man,
because
Wim
ice
Hof,
creeps
has
up
been
on
running bare feet on
After
ice
he
and
was
snow for more than 1
He
hour.
felt a strange urge to be on ice. So now he runs on ice with barely nothing on but shorts and doesn't feel
He does not have frostbite. He does not have hypothermia. And he feels no pain. He has the power to live in the cold, to withstand temperatures so frigid that others would die. He does this by willing himself to heat up.
After training and experience, I found out we have a sort of thermostat here, and I know how to reach it. Not by hand, just by my mind.
Wim is one of a genetic oddity. In a past of man with his abilities would remain a scientific mystery.
So yeah,
Okay,
that's
thank you.
him.
Okay, thank you, girls. See you next week. Not the coming week, after the exam. The following week. Yeah, if you would you please hand me the homework? Yeah.